Hey everybody, welcome back to the podcast. I'm your host for this episode, Trevor Hunt with ehunter.com. I'm really excited about this podcast. If you guys watched last week's podcast, you saw that we have a little bit of a different setup here in the studio. Got an empty seat over there this time, but on today's podcast, I will actually have Trevor Hunt, no relation, by the way. Well, there probably is, Trevor. I guess I'll have to ask him. But I'm sure if we go back far enough, we're related somewhere back there. But Trevor is the owner and operator of Pine Creek Outfitters, and he spends a lot of time in the mountains, in the hills, and he's been very successful not only as a hunter but also as an outfitter. And so I want to just pick his brain a little bit on this episode and ask him some questions about scouting during the summer, preparing for hunts, if you're coming from out of state, what you should and what you shouldn't do, things like that. And so super excited about this. Before we jump into it though, as always, want to give a shout out to Vortex Optics. They are our primary sponsor for the podcast, and we sure appreciate them. This would not be possible without them. I talked a lot about them on our last podcast and some of the new products that they have, as well as we have another video. Check that one out. I'll try to leave a card up in the corner if you're watching on YouTube to watch that video. But do appreciate them and the relationship that we have with them. Also want to give a shout out and a thank you to Onyx Maps. Appreciate them sponsoring us here at eHunter as well. Great guys over there. If you don't use Onyx Maps, it's about time you start. And so if you don't follow us on our social media platforms, give us a follow. We're going to do some giveaways for some memberships on there. So appreciate them and all that they do as well. So all right, guys, let's jump into it. I will have Trevor come and join us, and we'll get started on the podcast. So we're good to go. So I got Trevor here with Pine Creek Outfitters with me today. If you guys have been a follower of our podcast for a while, you're like the OG, man. You were like were you my very first podcast?
I don't think so, but we did one
It was early on.
When you were new, yeah.
Man, that was a long time ago.
It was when you were Extreme Outdoors or whatever you were.
Oh, that's right. That was before Extreme Hunting.
Yeah.
I was so ghetto with that name. Oh my gosh. I don't know why I went with that. That used to be everything. That was my email address. So silly.
Yeah.
But yeah, I messed that one up too. Do you remember that? Remember, we had to record it twice. I had recorded it and then it stopped recording in the middle, and you and I had to pick it up in the middle and later on and take off. So yeah, Trevor's the OG. He's the one that kind of started this whole thing out, and so I wanted to have him back on. We're just gonna chat today. We're gonna talk a little bit about scouting. I'm gonna pick his brain about some of these new regulations, get his thoughts as an outfitter. So Trevor, tell us a little bit about Pine Creek Outfitters. Since it's been a while, maybe there's some people that don't know you guys or you and what you do, and just tell a little bit about what you do and where you cover.
Well, I started Pine Creek Outfitters in 2013 in Nevada and in Utah. Prior to that, I sub-guided out on the Arizona Strip for several years, and then decided to start my own up here and took off from there. So since 2013, we've done elk and deer in Utah and Nevada. We've thrown in a couple antelope hunts and stuff like that, but primarily deer. That's what we're passionate about. But we do elk. We've killed some big bulls and had fun doing it. So we cover most of the eastern units in Nevada. The popular ones,
the better units,
22, 23, 24, stuff like that. Southwest Desert in Utah. I don't have a lot of time to branch out many more places. We're permitted on the Paunsaugunt in Utah.
Oh.
And some general stuff. We'll pick up a general hunter here and there if we have time. And that's what we do.
Man.
Spend a lot of time out in the hills and
have a lot of fun.
Just do what we love, yeah.
So it's funny, it's funny how some people focus on deer, some people focus on elk, and yeah, you're kind of biased, not gonna lie.
Yeah, I take whatever comes because I have to pay the bills.
Yeah.
But I've just I love big deer. I've been a part of some pretty big deer, and I still love seeing big deer. Now, don't get me wrong, I love seeing big elk.
Say big elk though,
and
dude.
I love screaming elk and hunting them. But
oh man, I love elk. If you were asking me, I'm more of an elk guy. Well, you know that.
Yeah.
But like this isn't a good comparison here because that's huge, and that one's so it's okay. So yeah, if I had to pick out of those two, yeah, I'm picking the deer. But man, a big 400-inch elk.
yeah, they're pretty rare. They're pretty fun.
Yeah. So is that though.
Yeah.
The people watching can't see what I'm pointing at, but there's a big A deer right there.
230, 240-inch deer is pretty awesome too.
It's hard to beat that.
Yeah.
It is hard.
I just
to
like
beat
them
that.
both.
Yeah.
Why not hunt them both?
That's a good way to put it. Antelope you can kick to the side because those things are ridiculous.
We'll take antelope hunters if they call.
You just
fill in the blanks, but
you use them to hang graduation
tassels
on. Oh yeah, you have done antelope in the past though.
Yeah, we've done a few in Southwest Desert.
Have you? Okay.
Yeah, and Pine Valley. We've done some on the Pine Valley.
Okay.
And I've even more so just tag along with a couple of friends in Nevada.
Yeah.
I don't really advertise that I do antelope because usually I'm too busy anyways. But
yeah, I don't know how to really hunt antelope, which I know they're not that hard. I mean, they're truck chasers. They basically just get in the truck and go home with you. But I've never really studied them or figured out how to hunt them. Like deer and elk, I know how to hunt them, and I've put a lot of time into figure them out. But antelope,
I don't either. But we figure out a way to hunt them.
Yeah. Speaking of that, after we get done, I want to ask you about that because I might have an antelope hunter this year. So I'll pick your brain a little bit about that after we stop recording. So let's talk a little bit about I really from an outfitter's perspective, and I know we kind of talked about this last time, but things change and a lot has changed since you and I last talked, and we get a ton of questions, or I get a ton of questions that come into me because we have a lot of our what do you want to call it, our viewers, they're from back east. And so we get a lot of questions like, how do you scout for elk? How do you scout for deer? And then as things change, they're always asking, okay, so now what do you do? And also, if you're traveling a long ways, you can't come out here and bring cameras out and check cameras. And so I kind of want to pick your brain as a guy that spends a lot of time out, scouting, hunting. Talk about some of the things that you do. So if we could kind of think of a couple, maybe 2 or 3 of your top scouting tips that you would give somebody, whether it's from somebody from back east or somebody here locally, what would be those couple of tips?
Well, what I do as an outfitter is a little bit different as what somebody that drew a tag and is going to come out and do to scout, because I'll go out after the seasons are over at the end of the year and see what's left.
Oh, that's a good point.
Some of the deer are deer that you've watched all summer and you see that they've made it through, or some are the deer that have just showed up to rut. And so that gives me a starting point next year. I know these deer made it through at least the hunts.
Yeah.
And so that's the deer I want to find next year. And so they're going to be in a different place. Maybe you're down looking at them on the winter range, so you know they've survived and you know they're there, but now you got to go find them on the summer range.
Right.
And so just running around and doing what we do, that's one of the things we do is not only look for deer and elk, but we're looking for the summer range, we're looking for the winter range.
Does Nevada have a rut hunt that goes in November?
Some of the units do.
Do they? Okay.
Yeah.
I was thinking about like Colorado, they have a lot of hunts during the middle of the rut, but here in Utah, there's a couple.
Yeah, most of the
ones.
Nevada units that I hunt, and at the end of October, there's a late hunt in 22 that goes till the first week in November. There's some late muzzleload hunts that go through November, and there's even some late rifle hunts that go through December in some of the units.
Okay.
So you can catch a rut hunt over there, if you, depending on the unit you want to draw on and what you want to go for. But
so think of the time frame that you're going out there and just to see what's left over, what's left after the hunts. Are you looking at the end of November, or are you looking even later than that, like December and January before they start dropping?
No, generally just November.
Okay. During kind of the latter parts of the rut, then,
yeah,
basically.
you go out. It's fun to go watch rut and bucks. So
I was going to say.
you're going to go do that. And
Take a
the
camera.
same with elk. You know?
Yeah.
Well, I want to look after the elk seasons are over, what elk survived and what I want to look for next year. If I know this buck survived, then I know I want to find him next year. So yeah, I'm out in December sometimes.
Okay.
You know, November, December, you're just seeing what survived, what made it, and putting it in inventory, you could say. And then next year you're trying to find that deer in the summer.
Yeah.
See if he grew, if he shrunk, if he's there, maybe a lion killed him, maybe winter killed, I don't know. So
you make that sound very easy to see something in November and December and then go find it in the next summer.
It's not. It's not very easy.
It's not as easy as he's making it sound.
No, you're trying to go find it.
Yeah.
You know, you might never. But at least you have something that you know is there that you're trying to find.
Yeah. Well, then it kind of carries over because then you see them there, and then I'm assuming, you can tell me if I'm wrong, but then you go shed hunting and kind of see what sheds are there. Hopefully you don't find a dead head of one of the ones you've been chasing forever or whatever. So it kind of, am I correct in this? You kind of carry it from one thing to the next in preparation for July scouting?
Yeah, I wish I was a bigger shed hunter than I am. I'm not. I don't get out shed hunting very often.
You just showed me some amazing sheds,
I
man.
didn't say I don't find big sheds, but I wish I could get out more and do it, but I don't know, just that time of year, and it's just, you've been gone for 6 months and you're trying to catch up on stuff. But but yes, like I just showed you a picture of a giant set of sheds.
Yeah,
never seen that deer.
That's so crazy.
So
isn't that amazing?
Just because a big deer, you find the sheds or you find him in the rut, that doesn't necessarily mean you'll find him in the summer. But like I say, at least you have something to look for. You're not just out there blind hoping you see a big deer on a ridge somewhere.
Yeah, that's true.
So that's a little different than say you find out in May, you draw a tag that starts in October and you got to go scout.
Yeah.
If I was going to do that, I mean, first off, you find the water, because you know how it's been lately. There's no water.
Yeah.
So the deer have to survive. So you gotta find some decent feed and some decent water. And
it's bad and it's good. You know, I mean, if there's little water, then they've got to come find that water. So you're going to see what's out there.
They'll always know where more water is than the human will.
Yeah.
It seems like, because they drink somewhere. Sometimes you're not getting them on a trail camera or you're not glassing them, but you know they're drinking somewhere.
Yeah.
So they're going to survive. But
there's a lot more water out there than I think. Well, you showed me one today.
Yeah, there's a lot more water out there than I think you can even know about.
Yeah. Yeah. We always complain about how much of a drought we're in or how little water there is, but they will definitely find it. So
yeah,
very good point.
Yeah, it's we could use some rain.
Oh, man.
That wouldn't hurt anything. That would not hurt some antler growth or some feed or some roads. Or
I was impressed, like I was telling you earlier, right? Like I'm seeing a lot of green out in these areas that normally this time of the year is yellow.
There is some, yeah. I just came in from Nevada, you know. That's why I was late, but roads are powder. It's just
gosh. So if someone did get a tag, like just got notified in May, and say, okay, let's say they live in Arizona or Colorado, and got notified in May, hey, I got this tag in Utah, which good luck, because nobody out of state gets a tag in Utah. Trust me, I know. For them, you know, someone that hasn't been out in November and December, what can they do now to really help prepare them for October or August when their hunt starts?
Well, now, if, you know, say you're in Arizona, you're going to get on Google Earth and scout.
Yeah.
You know, that's a pretty good tool that we have.
People underutilize that
in today's world. But if you're going to come into the field, you're gonna go look for feed and water first.
Okay.
And then you're just going to start from there.
So
you're spend a lot of time on the glass. If you can run some trail cameras, great. If you can't, then you just go find the areas that are going to hold the animals, and then start glassing from there.
Like I was talking to a guy the other day, and he's like, you know, it's almost too late for me now to do scouting. I'm like, what are you talking about? Like, this is early on in the game.
Yeah, the push to even scout for deer has not even happened yet.
Yeah.
I mean, we're June something, 20th.
What are we today? Yeah.
20th. I won't start glassing and looking hard till in July
Okay.
for some deer.
So that gives some guys some hope right there that, you know,
Yeah.
you don't start until the July, and so they're not too late. They can still come up here and look.
Yeah. Yep. Because right now you're going to see some deer with some antlers and maybe see something that you think is going to be big or that you know is going to be big. But
Oh, Mama wants you.
yeah, don't tell my wife I screened her call. But
She can see like she's going to watch this.
so yeah, that's what I'd say is
Feed and water.
go up to the field, look for feed and water.
Well, great point, because Google Earth, Onyx Maps, whatever, hop on there. You can find so many things: springs, ponds, troughs.
I mean, it's good and it's bad.
It is
It's good because it's a good tool to use, but it's bad because it's a good tool to use.
It is, and everybody's using it.
There's not many secrets anymore.
No, yeah. Back when I first started hunting, I remember having those sweet spots where no one knew about, and I still like to think I have those. I don't.
You don't. Yeah.
Everybody knows every spot, so there's always going to be a camera or something. But good point, good or bad, it is what it is.
It is what it is. So might as well utilize it.
Yeah, if everybody else is going to use it, we might as well. Yeah, I spend a lot of time on Onyx Maps. I think that's where I
do too.
Do a lot of mine. Sitting in church.
Yeah, I could show you my Onyx map points right now.
Yeah, you want to show those to me?
Yeah.
I'll take those. Yeah, I'd love to see those points or those waypoints. Yeah, I spend a lot of time in there, and that's kind of what I do. Is I'll find some spots and then go check them out. Hop in the side by side, go check them out.
That's what I do when I'm going to a new area.
Yeah.
That say I don't guide a lot or a new area I'm wanting to branch into. I go start looking for the feed and the water.
Yeah.
The canyons I think the deer are going to bed in, stuff like that.
So great question. I mean, that's a great point. So you have areas you'll look at a canyon and be like, I think a deer is going to bed in that. What, for those that don't know, what does that look like?
Oh man, it could look like anything.
Well, that doesn't help.
It could. I mean, some of the country we hunt is just rolling hills with sagebrush.
Yeah.
And may have some washes in it. I mean, they're going to bed in there. Some of the, out Southwest Desert, you can have some thick canyons, even some ponderosas.
Yeah.
Even some aspens. I mean,
it's amazing what you can find out there when you start looking.
I look for shady canyons.
Okay.
That are going to be shady during the day, on the north slopes usually. And I wish I could think like a deer or an elk, but in my mind I'm thinking, okay, if I was a deer or an elk, I'd bed right there.
Yeah.
Because it's down a canyon, it's got an escape route.
Yeah.
It's got cover, stuff like that.
Isn't it funny that you can look at a place, like I do it all the time. I drive up into a place and this looks like elk country. And whoever's with me is like, what does that even look like? What are you talking about? This looks just like the mountain range we looked at back there, but no, it doesn't.
I go to some places every single year that just look like they're going to hold biggest deer you've ever seen, and I haven't even seen a deer there. But they look good.
Yeah.
So I keep going back.
I still got cameras in
One
there.
of these days, there's going to be a big deer
there
there.
will be.
Yeah. So
have you ever been down by like Mataqua area? Have you ever gone down that way?
Yeah.
That's what I look at that place and I'm like, there's no deer.
Oh man.
Out here. Like it's so desert and just there's cactus everywhere and no way.
Deer like the desert.
Yeah, it's interesting, isn't it?
Yeah. I hunt that area a lot.
Deer like the desert, but they also like the high timbers.
They're versatile.
Yeah.
Really, they are. I mean, there'll be deer in the summer down there where it's 110 degrees, cactus.
Really? I've never.
There'll be some deer
I'll be honest,
summer down there.
Never been down there in the summer. I've only gone there. Actually, I've only gone there during the winter when I thought they'd moved down.
I mean, it's too hot for me in the summer, but
I don't like to hunt in a Speedo and tank top,
Yeah, that's not what you told me before we hit record.
That's supposed to be our secret, man. Come on. No, it's just interesting how deer can just live anywhere, everywhere. Doesn't really matter. Like anywhere can be deer country. I think.
Yeah.
I guess what my point in saying all this is like for someone that's coming over, and I'm just using like when I go to Colorado, I go hunt in Colorado and new areas, and I just kind of go everywhere. I look at areas. I'm like, oh yeah, this looks like it could be a place that would hold deer.
That's
maybe it does.
That's That's what I'm saying. I mean, you got to look everywhere. If it looks like it'll hold deer to you, it probably will.
Yep.
Especially if there's water close by, within a couple miles, and stuff like that. So,
how far do you see deer going for water?
I've seen them go 3, 4, 5 miles.
Jeez,
for water.
It's a long ways, man. I feel like those big bucks too. They can go like days without water too. So they won't.
I've had some deer that I've chased and hunted. I mean, I think I mentioned this on the podcast before that we've seen on camera. I've glassed them up 3 miles away in the barely, get glimpses of them and just cannot get in there to kill them. And they come around every few days and get a drink in the middle of the night and stuff like that. So they're big for a reason.
Yeah.
And a lot of times I find myself not going far enough out. I may have a deer on a trail camera, and so I'm trying to find that deer, and sometimes I don't think I'm going far enough out. I mean, I see deer like that. I glassed this particular deer up by accident because I just went farther out, got up on the big knob, and was glassing back toward, and he was right underneath me.
Oh, geez.
So I get on the map, and it's 3 miles. So I'm like, I'm not going far enough sometimes.
Yeah. But I think 3 to 5 miles is nothing for them.
Yeah.
For us to walk 3 or 5 miles on the mountains, it's a big deal. But for them, well, deer, but especially elk.
Oh yeah, elk.
Nothing.
I mean, I just think about when I'm out riding my horse or something, moving some cows or just out riding. You can cover 5 miles in an hour.
Yeah,
I mean, you know what I mean? It's just like
easy. Yeah.
So those I think that's what a lot of people are finding maybe is I don't think we're going far enough away. I think deer and elk are going to travel.
That's
and I've seen the opposite too. You know what I mean? I've seen lazy deer.
But they go just over the ridge.
They go over the ridge, and that's where they bed.
Yep.
500 yards away from the water, and you can glass them up every day.
Yep. So true. Are you seeing a lot of these deer become nocturnal, or have you noticed them becoming more nocturnal over the last couple of years? Because I feel like I have. I feel like that I used to see them hit my cameras, 7 in the mornings, maybe 7:30 in the morning, but now it's 1 and 2 in the morning that they're hitting my cameras, then they're just gone.
Yeah, I see that for sure. I don't know if I feel like it's any more
any worse
or any less. Big deer for sure.
Yeah,
I see hit in the middle of the night.
They're kind of always that way. Yeah.
But it's kind of sporadic. I do notice that, like early in the trail camera season, they'll hit earlier or later, however you want to say it, later in the morning, earlier in the evening.
Right.
As people start going out, I've noticed deer get later and later and later.
Yeah, that's kind of what I've noticed too.
I had one particular deer. I watched him for a couple of years. I'd get him really early on trail camera, and then once more cameras and more people started showing up, never get him again. And back before some of the new trail camera rules, when you could leave him up, he would show up again about November.
So he would disappear basically from August to November?
Yeah.
Little fart.
No, I'm saying
isn't it amazing?
July. He would leave in July when people started showing up.
Wow.
And then he would show back up in November. So
that's why
November, December
become like that. I mean,
yep. So there's just no rhyme or reason why deer do what they do.
Yeah,
really.
I feel like
smart creatures.
I feel like there's a time when they're patternable. Like August. I feel like during the archery hunts, I feel like I can pattern them a little bit better. Come the end of the year when they've been pushed around for a month or two. Good luck. Just it's a luck game.
And they
not really.
They can travel. From point A to point B, especially during the rut, different times. I mean, they can go 20, 30 miles, I think.
Yeah, that's a long ways. But we see that. I mean, we live on the western side of Utah, and I'm sure you've seen it. You've seen animals that are here in Utah, then they pop up in Nevada. They don't know that state line exists.
I killed a deer in November last year for myself. I don't hunt very often for myself.
It was a monster, by the way.
But I had a guy reach out to me and say he watched that deer all summer. He told me where he watched it, and I told him where I killed it, and we got on the map, and it was 21 miles as the crow flies. So that's nothing, I don't think, for them. That was from summer range to November, But from where we live,
Mm-hmm.
those deer that winter down in the Nevada desert, that's quite a ways.
That is a ways.
So sometimes in your scouting, sometimes I think you need to branch out.
Yeah.
You need to look at a bigger circle.
That's a good point. That's a really good lesson for those that are doing the e-scouting. You find that water, don't just look at that little canyon.
Don't look at that one canyon. Draw yourself a 5-mile circle.
Mm-hmm. Which you have the tools to do that on some of these programs.
That's where you need to look.
Yeah. Which can be a daunting thing too. Some people look at that like, how am I supposed to cover all that country?
And maybe that's
weekend?
rare. Maybe I'm just talking about rare cases. I don't know.
I don't
but
think
it seems
so.
like I have that happen to me quite a bit.
Yeah. Well, I'm just thinking about some of the animals I've chased recently, and they move at least 5 miles, if not further.
Look at the bull that we were just talking about before, from where I seen him. Oh, it was about a week before I showed you that video.
Yeah.
And then where I took that video, that was, well, I know it's 4 miles across that. We're talking 6-7 miles that I, from where I seen him the 1 week to the next week.
Yeah. That's nothing to them.
So broaden your circles.
Yeah.
Look more places.
Well, and again, using your tools that you have, use that onX, use that Google Maps, and I don't know. I feel like the more you do this, I know I was joking about looking at a place and saying that looks like deer country or that looks like elk country, but I honestly think that's true. I think
you get the feeling for it, and you get the experience of learning. Yeah, I see deer in this kind of country. I see elk in this kind of country, and
does it ever get frustrating when you get somewhere and you're like, oh, I know, like I've looked at this on onX, I know this is gonna hold some deer. Does it get frustrating when they're not there?
You go and glass your eyeballs out and don't see anything, and
it makes me crazy. Or someone told you there's something there, and you're like, okay, this is what I'm gonna find here. There's gonna be 40 head of deer, 40 head of elk in here, and then you see absolutely nothing, and they're probably just the ridge over, but that's where you got to put those miles in.
It gets frustrating, yeah.
When you're doing summer scouting during July, is most of your time spent in a vehicle, just put miles on the truck, trying to see as much country as you can see, or do you get out and do a lot of hiking during that time?
Probably more driving, looking at country.
Yeah.
Seeing, okay, this water has water this year, this water doesn't. A lot of that, and then as it gets later, then a lot more kind of hiking in and actually glassing and trying to find the deer and pattern him and watch him, and or elk. I say deer, but either one, whichever we got going on. But
I think that's a lot of people think they need to come here and they need to be hiking. I got to get out there and I just got to hike this mountain range,
and that's great too. But then that's all you're seeing is that one ridge that you're hiking up.
Exactly,
and I got to cover some country because I got a lot going on, and I got to,
With the road systems nowadays, side by sides, I think that we can see a lot of country, a lot of good deer and elk country.
If I go down here and this pond's dried up, this water's dried up, then I know I don't really need to look down there.
Right.
So do a lot of that.
I do that too. I think a lot of times if I can find water, especially one that I feel like is a little bit secluded, that I can really spend some time, that's when I'll start putting the miles on the boots really, because then I'm looking for sign, I'm looking for, I'm looking for animals too, but really trying to figure out, are they even in that area at that time? So I just, I make fun of Trevor because he has a new pickup every time I see him. And so I figured he's got to be putting a lot of miles on that truck or those trucks.
Wear them out.
That's the guide life, isn't it?
Yeah.
I'm not kidding either. Like every time I see him, he's got a new truck.
Yeah, not every time. I had my last one for a while.
The Dodge?
Yeah.
Yeah. It felt like for me, it was pretty dang quick.
And you only come around once a year.
A while for you is different too than me. Like I keep a truck for 10 years.
Yeah, I break them down in about 4.
Of course, you got to watch Trevor drive across to.
I can get you there.
You can. That was I about died last year when we were on that one hunt, and I'm sitting up on this knoll, and I think I can't remember if it was Jed that said that Alex or if it was me. No joke, I could hear you clear across the valley. Whoa! Coming in. I was like, oh, here comes Trevor.
Got to get somewhere. Got places to go.
That's right. You probably didn't even feel a bump going across that. It was probably the smoothest that road's ever been.
I fill them when I come to a ditch that's washed out or something.
Hey, but you got there.
Yeah, we got there.
You got there in time to see them. So, hey, it worked. So let's talk about some of the new rules that we have going on. I mean, well, do you have anything else about scouting that you want to go over?
No, I don't really do anything out of the norm, really, other than spend a lot of time.
So really just put in the time.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know if average guy's the right word, but I spend a lot of time, days and days, daily out there when it comes to July and August and stuff. And that's a little bit different than somebody that don't have a lot of time off work and can't get out but only the weekends and stuff. So that's the only thing I do different, really. Looking for feed and water. I'm looking for sign. I'm looking for canyons, just different things. And then I'm out there a lot.
But that's what people get when they pay. That's what people get what they pay for with you, because that's why people get a guide. You put in that time. They don't have the ability to put in that time, so they can call you and say, "Hey,
that's what it comes down to. A lot of is people just like, what, it's going to cost me. It's going to cost me as much to drive myself up there and spend all this time looking. So let's just hire a guide, and that's great. That's what I'm here for.
That's a good point, man. I haven't really thought about it that way, but you think about, especially with gas prices right now. Yeah. If you make a trip from Arizona, say you drive a deer tag here in Utah, and you're coming from Arizona. Yeah, you're gonna be $1,000.
Yeah,
honestly,
it's kind of crazy. I mean, just running out for a little bit's $100 a day now. Yeah. So half a tank of gas, $100, and you're running out checking a few cams, glassing a ridge in the evening or something. That's $100 every single day.
Man, you think this is gonna break this whole gas prices?
I don't know.
Man, I'm gonna go all political on us here. Crazy.
Get back to deer.
I'm sorry. I was gonna go way off.
Yeah, get back to big deer. That makes us happy.
That does make us happy.
Gas prices don't make us happy.
That's why I sit down in this room. You know that, right?
I know. There's a lot of.
Everybody's always like, "Why are you so happy?" Because I work here as well. My day job is sitting right here at this desk.
There. Hey, there you go.
Everybody's like, "Oh, you're so happy." Well, when you get to look at this all day long, it's pretty all right.
Yeah.
So let's talk about some of these new rules and laws that came out. I've got a podcast that's going to be coming out here. This one actually probably will release before that one. But just talking about some of the new Utah laws and regulations, and I guess Nevada actually has some new stuff going on too. But I really want to get your thoughts on some of the trail camera stuff. That's the hottest topic. Like, we get the most comments on trail cameras if we post something on social media. If we have an article, it gets blown up. It gets the most views. I mean, people care about this trail camera thing. And so as a guide, as an outfitter, I'd kind of like to pick your brain about it and just get your thoughts. Again, you can be candid or you can just be very political, whatever you want to be. But
I haven't read the fine print on the Utah stuff like I should. But to me, it's not cut and dried. It's either can you have them or can you not.
Yeah.
And when we were just talking, and the way you interpret it is, you can have them if you're not hunting.
Yeah, if you're not hunting, you don't have a tag in your pocket, you're good.
Nevada's had the rule for a few years. We have to pull them by July 31st, August 1st, whatever. The end of July.
Yeah.
And now Utah's that way.
Is it a game changer? Does it ruin your life that you can't keep a camera up in Nevada after
It doesn't
August
ruin
1st?
my life, no.
I think people need to hear that right there. I think
I
that's
like
a good
to
point.
go see. I like to check my cameras, and when we could run them all year, we ran them all year. And when you're hunting and you don't have anything to do in the middle of the day, you go check your cameras. Get something for you and the client to do. So
get you some excitement too, because you're like, hey, look what I got in this camera.
Last night,
yeah, that's fun.
Something like that. But no, it doesn't ruin our life. Yeah, I still run them just because I think I have to keep up. So we run them till the end of July. We kind of see what's there in the summer, and then that's what we're looking for in August and the rest of the year. I've told you this before. I've seen deer on trail camera and elk on trail camera for years and years and years that we've never laid eyes on.
Yeah.
So a trail camera is you're not automatically going to kill that big buck or elk because you got him on camera.
Right. What do you think your ratio of like the animals that you kill? How many of those do you have on camera?
Oh shoot, I don't know. I mean, we've killed plenty that we've had on camera.
Have you?
But we've killed some. So I'm going to use one example. In 2015, we were in Nevada. You could run cameras all year. We we had a lot of cameras out. We ended up killing a buck in October, a big buck, 200 and something incher, and we'd never had him on camera. So it goes both ways.
Yeah.
You know?
I don't think that the camera makes you more successful, though. It just gives you an idea of what's there, but it doesn't pull the trigger for you.
Yeah, I like running them because I like seeing the deer's habits. I like seeing where they move and when they move and how they move, and stuff like that. But it's a lot of work. And
in Nevada, can you just absolutely not run them after August 1st, or is it kind of the same like if you don't have a tag? Or is it just absolutely no cameras?
I think it's no cameras. I'm not 100% on that, but and I'm an outfitter over there, and so I just pull them, and I don't
even flirt with the law.
But generally, you go pull them at the end of July, and then you go hunting, and you're going into the waters. They're pretty. The guys have taken it pretty seriously, and they pull their cameras. I don't know what's going to be like in Utah. I've seen a few cameras up after the deadline in Nevada, but not many. So I don't know.
See, that's the thing with Utah is so the way that it's been told to me, and it's in there and it's on that podcast, is that, if you don't have that tag in your pocket, if you're not the one hunting it, you can keep cameras up because if you're not using it to help you harvest that deer or that elk or whatever. And so, like, for a lot of people that don't have tags this year, they're going to be running cameras all season long.
And I honestly haven't read it. I need to get myself caught up with it, but
there's a good podcast that you can listen to about it. It's called the E-Hunter Podcast.
Could you give me the guy's name?
I'll send you that guy's name. I'll text you. One thing that I like about not having the cameras, when we pull them in the end of the month, is then it's fun when something shows up that you don't know about. Yeah. That's pretty fun. Exactly. Yeah, that's true.
I had that happen last year. I was just kind of out and about and seen this buck, and I got in and got a little closer look, and he was a dandy buck, and I didn't know about him.
Never knew he was there.
That was pretty fun,
man.
So it doesn't cameras is everybody's got their own opinion on cameras, and that's one that there's most opinions on.
It's crazy. It blows up.
For me, it's not ruining my life that we have to pull them. I don't like the rules. I don't like so many rules being forced down our throat and so many stipulations and everything else that we got to abide by. So I don't like being told I can't run them.
So I don't like to be told to do anything.
But it doesn't bother me too bad. I mean, even if we couldn't run them at all, like Arizona is going to do this year. Right. Let's just go back to old school hunting. Yeah. True. I spent a lot of time out there, and I'd have to spend more. I would. I'd admit I'd have to go out more.
Twist my arm.
Because I can't go check 100 cameras in a weekend or whatever it may be. You're looking at one or two spots in the morning, you're glassing one or two spots in the evening, and that's what you're doing. But everybody be on the same page.
See, that's what's important to me, is that everybody's on the same page. As long as we're all doing the same thing, I don't think cameras are going to make us more or less
I think that's why there's so big a controversy right now, is because a lot of the outfitters have a lot of cameras.
Yeah. Well, that's why I asked you the question.
A lot of your DIY guys, they might have I know some that have a lot more cameras than me.
Yeah. Yep.
But then I know some guys that, they can only afford a few cameras, and that's not a problem, Yeah. So I think it's just, that's why there's so many different opinions on it. And
well, I think people think that it got out of hand. I think people think, oh, these outfitters are running, hundreds and thousands of cameras out there, and that's why all the animals are dying. That's not why the animals have changed. It's the drought. I don't think it has anything to do with cameras, but I think that people think that they've got to control it somehow, and we got to create these rules for everything. So, and to be honest with you, I'm fine. Get rid of the cameras. As long as we're on the same. That deer right there was not shot by using a trail camera. Yeah. So take him away if you want to take him away. But as honestly, long as we're all the same.
I mean, neither was mine that I killed last year.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
It was in Utah. I spent all my time in Nevada. I come home 2 days before my hunt started. That's all I had to scout. I ran out and I had a good time. Yeah. So even my, you've seen him on my wall. One of my other big deer.
Yeah. Your monster.
That was before trail cameras, really. Yeah. I mean, there was some cameras out. They were as big as a brick, and stuff like that. But
it wasn't. We didn't use them really that much.
But I'm not saying. I mean, we've killed some big deer that we've got on camera. So they are a tool.
Yeah. Oh yeah, absolutely.
For sure. But
I don't know. I hope Utah doesn't do what Arizona has done, or even to the point of what Nevada has done. If that's how it is, you can't use it after that date. Just because, like, at least let me use it if I'm not hunting, because that's something that me and my kids love to do. I love to get out. I love to look at trail camera pictures. It's just fun. It's just another reason to get outside. I love shed hunting for that same reason. I love it all. So I don't know. That's why I kind of want to ask you.
Yeah.
Like
Sorry, I had to.
No, you're good.
Text my wife.
Say Taryn's keeping me way too long. Is she asking like, are you ready to go?
No, I don't know what she's wanting.
don't say it like that. You're gonna get me in trouble. Let me text her and say But yeah, that's why I wanted to ask you from an outfitter.
And I may not have answered that in a yes or a no answer, but
I don't think it is a yes or a no.
That's what I'm saying. Is everybody, every single person has a different opinion about the trail cameras.
Yeah,
I'd be okay if they went away. And I'm okay if they stay.
Yeah.
I use them now because we can, and I like to see what's there, and I like to see what they do and how far they move, and
I'm gonna miss the most if they were to get rid of trail cameras is our conversation before we hit record. Like we were just showing each other pictures and that's so fun. Like look at what I've got here. Look what I've got here. I'm not gonna tell you where it's at, but this is what I'm seeing, and I love that. I would miss that part of it.
Yeah.
But it is what it is. What about some of the other stuff going on in Utah? Like they've talked. Well, I think they actually did it. We had an article on it about no more scopes on muzzleloaders. But they're even talking about like taking away turrets off of scopes.
Oh, see, I'm behind the times.
Oh man,
I haven't updated myself on that. So
you gotta get updated.
I'm not gonna be helpful on that question.
Yeah, so they're taking. Sorry, not taking away scopes on. Muzzleloaders, it's the power, like what is it? Is it variable power? I'm speaking out of turn here, and we have an article that I think I even wrote it. I can't remember.
No, I haven't
seen that.
I have not seen that.
Yeah, I think that's what they want to do. I think it's just taking it back down to either no scopes at all or just
a one power
power scope,
just like what it used to be.
Yeah, exactly how Utah used to be, which I'm actually okay with. I kind of miss those days, to be honest. I wish they'd get rid of scopes.
Well, that's what we do in Nevada. No scopes.
And Colorado.
No scopes at all. Open sights only. And so
it's a primitive weapon.
And so I guess I'm neutral on that.
Yeah. Yeah, it doesn't. Does any of this stuff impact like clients wanting to book with you? Are they? Does it affect that at all?
No, because I mean, like Nevada, for instance, that's what it's always been. No scopes. So when they call and they want to draw a muzzleloader, that's what they know.
That's what they expect, huh?
That's just what they expect. I think maybe since scopes on muzzleloaders, a few people have maybe changed and put in for muzzleload hunts in Utah.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe,
I did.
Maybe let's say the elk. I mean, I drew a muzzleload tag last year.
Yeah.
Probably because of it.
Yeah.
But the deer I killed in 2006. That was back before the scopes. I was open-sided, and that's my biggest deer to date. So,
do you have one of those nice fancy muzzleloaders?
Yeah, I do.
Is it a Paramount?
Yeah.
Is it really? You sucker, man! I want one of those. I mean, so bad. Is it sweet?
I have a scope.
With
a gun with a nice scope.
Yeah.
But if they want to take it back, then that's fine.
Those are sweet guns, though.
Yeah.
I've wanted one of those. Well, so
it's killed a big bull and a big buck last year.
Yeah, that's right. Well, I did the same thing. I've always, since I moved to Colorado, I've been applying for the muzzleloader tags. Like, better chances of getting that. Plus, that's what I do is I'd buy a Paramount. I'd put a turreted scope on it, and it'd basically be like a rifle that I'm hunting.
And they are.
Yeah, they really are. Problem with the Utah, I guess it kind of hits the rut though. The heat of the rut though is right during the rifle season here in Utah.
Yeah, for elk.
Yeah, for elk. Yeah, for elk. Sorry. See, I go directly to elk.
It depends on the year. A lot of times I feel like the muzzleload season's
better
on where we hunt.
Yeah.
A lot of times it can be a little better. Rifle hunt is generally pretty hot.
Yeah. Yeah, that's true. Yeah, I don't know. I've switched now. I'm doing rifle here in Utah now that I'm a resident. I still didn't get tagged, so I'm not destined to hunt elk in Utah. I'll keep hunting these little things in Colorado and just call it good. Hey, that was a fun bull though.
Yeah.
For Colorado, I was pretty happy with him, but it's pretty comparable to that. Maybe it doesn't have quite the force that one has, but he's a good little bull. Do you hunt out of state at all? Like, I mean,
I don't.
Personally?
No.
I guess you really don't do a lot of hunting for yourself, do you?
I don't know. I'm too busy.
Man, don't say that. That's...
Yeah. You got to take... I mean, you got to... I've killed a lot of good stuff myself, but I get more enjoyment out of taking somebody else out and giving them the experience as I do myself.
Really?
Yeah.
You know, your finger doesn't start twitching. Like, oh, let me do it.
No, it doesn't.
See, this is why I haven't been able to like fully commit to this.
I know.
Because I want to be the one behind that gun.
Yeah, it'll change for you.
Yeah.
I have 3 kids old enough to hunt now, so I love taking them out.
I'm looking forward to that.
So, both my older kids have killed big good deer.
Yeah, they've killed some nice ones.
And that's been more fun than any hunt I've ever done. Even my big deer last year. Mm-hmm. Way more fun to watch my kids shoot a deer.
Yeah, I'm excited for that. How old are your oldest? Are 2 older? How old's Lainey?
15. My oldest is 15, and then my boy's 13.
Okay.
And I have a daughter that just turned 12. So she didn't get a tag this year, but I'm going to mentor her my deer tag.
Okay.
So that she can get a chance to hunt.
Nice.
And I'd way rather just take her out.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm excited. Jaden turns 12 not until November, so we couldn't get him
anything,
anything this year. He got his hunter safety done, but yeah, I'm excited to get him hunting. I think once I get them hunting, I probably really won't hunt that much anymore. I'll just focus on them.
I have some clients that I take that it's just like a dream for them, and to see their excitement. I don't miss. I love to go hunting myself, but I really like doing what I'm doing, and I can't do both very easy.
No,
I
there's
can.
not enough time.
I can hunt for myself a little bit,
but hunting for yourself doesn't pay the bills.
Yeah,
that's the problem.
My kids have Arizona points and they got Nevada points, and my wife has some Arizona deer points and stuff. But myself, I don't have anything anywhere. I mean, really, a few Arizona points.
No Nevada points?
No.
Gosh, I would never guess. I would have thought you'd have a plethora of Nevada points for everything.
I should have been putting in all these years. But
not even like sheep and stuff?
Uh-uh.
Trevor.
You know what? I just one of those things.
That's the beauty of it, though. That actually speaks speaks volumes to me. That shows me that you truly love what you do and enjoy truly being that guide. I mean, that's awesome. Yeah, it really is.
It's fun.
Is awesome. Which one has more pressure, being the guide or being the hunter?
Oh, I don't like being the hunter. Last year, that was not fun.
Come on, it was fun.
I'd way rather be the guide. I think where I guide so much, I put too much pressure on myself.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's like this is what I do. I have to kill a big deer or a big elk or something like that, and so it's a lot of pressure and which I don't have to. I just need to go have fun.
You don't have to go shoot anything. It doesn't matter.
I just go have fun.
Yeah.
And so, yeah, I made that comment last year, man. I don't like being the hunter.
You should have called me. I would have came in and guided you.
Yeah, should have.
I'll take some of that pressure off of you. I think I agree with you. I think that being the hunter, there's just so much pressure. It's... Well, because I think about some of these tags, like when I do get my elk tag here, 20 years. I got 21 points.
Yep.
When I finally get that tag, I think I'm going to be miserable, to be completely honest with you.
Yeah, I went through that last year.
Yeah. It's like I'm going to be relieved that it's over, which is a sad thing to say.
You are. I was relieved it's done and I can move on.
Yeah.
Drew it on a horrible year, of course,
Yeah,
that's the way my luck is, but I just decided that I'm not going to turn it back. I'm not going to keep playing that game. I'm going to go hunt and have fun, and I did. I had fun. I didn't kill the biggest deer on the mountain. There wasn't big deer last year, but
right.
I had a good time, and I probably would have done the same thing this year if I'd have drawn it or next year. I would just go out and
have fun,
and
that's what matters, honestly. As long as you're having fun, it really doesn't matter what
the only regret I have about the deer I killed last year was not taking my kid out of school to go with me. I was by myself, and
Or calling your friends and
calling,
having them come with you to go hunting.
Everybody, thinks they got to go work.
Yeah.
Jobs.
Yeah.
And,
I
nobody
think
can go
that
help
thing
me.
kills me.
So, yeah, that's a lot of fun.
Yeah.
And you see your little kid just jump for joy.
That is. Yeah, they would have loved to go out with you. Had been on that one with you. But you're right. I mean, it's just having fun. Just enjoy. So, no. Well, cool, man. Well, I didn't mean to take up your whole afternoon. I just wanted to chat a little bit with you. Get some ideas out there for some people that don't know what they're doing. We have so many new people getting into hunting each and every day.
It's getting busy, isn't it?
Go drive out there. It's ridiculous what you do, but it's crazy how many people.
I get a lot of phone calls from guys that, what does it take to come hunt with you? Well, what I do, it takes a lot of points, and so it's like you can't
just buy it.
Yeah. Unfortunately, a lot of what I do is draw tags, Utah and Nevada. So, I mean, how many points do you have?
21.
Yeah. See, so it's not like it's just you can put in next year and come.
Yeah. I've got 14 or 13 in Nevada.
I do take some people that are that lucky.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. There's some of those people.
I'm taking a guy this year that I took a couple years ago in Nevada. He drew again.
Are you kidding me?
It happens. It happens. But
that's not me.
Yeah, just like the one elk hunt I did last year with my friend, he only had 12 points.
Oh, really?
And you guys have 20-something
Yeah.
unit. So it's just a...
Well, the one we took later, he had, 18 or 19?
Yeah, at least. Maybe more, maybe into the 20s.
Oh, was he really?
Yeah.
He did a little late hunt?
Yeah.
I thought he was only 18 maybe.
So.
Oh, geez.
So, yeah, it's hard to even answer that. What do I got to do to come hunting with you? Well, you got to start applying.
Yeah.
That's what you got to do. You'll never be able to come. It's too popular nowadays. It's not like, well, you're too young, but it's not like when I started hunting.
You're not
you
that
went
much
over here
older
to
than
the
me.
store and you bought your deer tag.
I do remember those days.
See?
Yeah, I do remember that. No, it's changed a lot since then. Some people think it's like a little bit too daunting to put in. Like now they think with the point creep, they're never going to draw. Do you agree with that?
No, I don't agree with that. Yeah, it's going to be tough.
Mm-hmm. And you're going to have to be patient.
Somebody's got to draw the tags.
Yeah. Well, and there are those guys that draw, like you said, that do it with 5 points, 12 points, whatever.
There's random tags.
Mm-hmm.
Utah has random tags.
Yeah.
Nevada has a little bit different system. And I don't want to speak out of turn because I don't know exactly, but you take your deer points and they square them, and that's how many times your name's in the hat.
Yeah. Yep.
So Utah's a little bit different with their bonus points, and so many allotted to bonus points and different things like
Max
that.
points.
But they're still random tags, and somebody's going to draw those.
Yeah. And somebody does. Every year there's that guy that's always like, oh, yeah, I had 5 points and I drew my tag.
Yeah.
I want to shoot
I've
him.
looked up, and some of the guys have drawn sheep tags with a few points because they've drawn the one random tag.
Yep.
So I never tell my opinion when people say, should I just buy points? No, don't buy a point. Put in for the tag.
Yeah.
Unless it's something that you can't do this year and you want to keep your points going.
Right.
But put in for the tag.
Well, and even then you can turn it back.
Costs you the same.
It does, yeah.
Because you're either buying a point for $10 or applying for $10 unless you draw, then it's more. But no, I say put in.
Yeah.
You're never going to draw if you don't put in.
Yeah. Some people have a hard time with Nevada because you have to buy the hunting license and then put in. But
Arizona's the same way.
But honestly, that's a tank of gas now. It's $150. I spend more than that to fill my truck up, actually. So
you and me both.
Yeah, it's ridiculous.
I mean, it's like my wife, for instance, has 18 points in Arizona. Wow. I can't just quit now.
No,
so
no,
you buy the
no.
license, you keep putting her in.
Yep.
I do like Arizona and Nevada both have youth. They really kind of cater to the youth.
They do.
It's $5 in Arizona to buy them a hunting license. So
start building points
that's
early.
That's something I'd tell these guys right now. Start getting your kids points now.
Yep.
In Arizona, you can start at 10 years old. By the time they're out of high school, they could have 8 points, 9 points. And if they want to go hunt, not everybody needs to hunt the strip.
No.
Oh,
there's so many other good.
If you want to go hunt a unit down south or try to get a Kaibab tag or something like that, your kids can hunt.
Yeah.
And then, Nevada's the same way. They got a $10 hunting license for the kids. So that's why I'm building my kids' points in both those states.
I didn't realize in Arizona, I thought they had to be 12. I was thinking Jaden's first year was this year that he could put in.
10 years old.
Crap, I missed out on I guess he's still 11, so I missed out on 1 point.
Yeah, and it just ended last week.
Yeah. Dang it.
So
I should have had him in. I
my
realize
wife's
that.
cousin drew at 10 years old. Drew his first time.
How
putting in at
sweet
10
would
years
that
old.
be?
Killed a big old giant typical deer. I watched it. This was years ago. He's, that was 15 years ago or something. I don't know when it was. It was a while ago, but that's fun. So it's parents, get your kids in now, and if you need to put in for yourself. I mean, you need to build points too, because you can't just sit here and say, "Oh, I'm never going to draw, so I'm not going to put in."
Right.
Yeah, you might not ever draw,
but you'll never draw if you don't put in.
You never draw if you don't put in.
You have 0% chance if you never put in, but at least you have some
and
percent
0.1 if you do put in.
Well,
so,
hey,
but at least there's a chance.
So you're telling me there's a chance?
No, it's a different. If it's a different game than it used to be, I still enjoy it, and I'm still trying to make a living at it.
Mm-hmm. You're doing a good job. You really are. I'm glad that you're still doing it. You're still in it. Is your father-in-law still guiding down there?
Yep.
I haven't heard much from him down there.
Full steam ahead.
Is he?
Yep.
How many guys does he have down there with him?
He's got 4 or 5 guides, sub guides that are kind of helping him now. Yeah.
Wow.
Yep.
Wow.
Yeah, they've done well over the last few years. They've got a couple of big clients this year already, and the draws will be coming out, I imagine, in the end of the month.
Yeah, it should be soon.
I imagine those draws will be the end of the month, quick. and then they can't run cameras this year. It's going to be a little different.
Yeah.
But when you've grown up in a place, I feel like you have an advantage.
I was going to say, for him, it's not going to be nothing. It's going to be easy.
So no cameras can be an advantage for some, disadvantage for others.
Yeah. Yeah, for those people trying to go down there to guide or outfit, it's going to be tough.
Yeah.
But for guys like him that live there, and gosh, I don't even know how old he is now, but he's been there for a long time, and he knows it very, very well. So, yeah, that's good. I haven't even seen any of his stuff lately. Does he post anything on social media?
He's got one of his guides kind of runs a social media page for him. Yeah, and they post quite a bit of stuff, quite a bit of big deer.
Nothing's come to my feed yet or lately. I'll have to go look him up, and
I just seen some today on Instagram. So
okay.
I know they're still running that social media stuff.
Nice. I was gonna ask you, do you care if I steal some of your pictures and stuff from social media and put on, kind of mix into this video and whatnot?
Help yourself.
Okay.
I'll even send you some others.
Yeah, sweet.
If you want,
yeah, I love just that way. It's not just looking at you and I.
If a guy puts a picture on social media, he's putting it out there.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. Well, and you can't really tell where it's at, or it's not that secret anymore.
It's not, yeah.
I'm the same way. I'll put it out there, and who cares?
No, I put it out there and hope people will share it. I mean, that's advertising. I do book a lot of my clients just by that kind of stuff and word of mouth.
Really?
So
you get a lot of people that reach out to you via social media?
Not as much the last couple of years, but there for a while I really was. The last couple of years have been more word of mouth.
Nice.
I talked to so-and-so, and they
hunted with you, or
they hunted with me, or they know somebody that hunted with me, or they've heard about us, and so they've called us that way. I don't have a website. I'm still old school.
Yeah.
I've looked into it, but I just have never pulled the trigger on it.
No, when you do, let me know. I'm pretty dang good at building a website.
Hey, let's get it done. That is one question. A lot of guys call me. Hey, do you have a website I can look your pictures on?
Oh, really?
Yeah. No, I unfortunately I don't right now. So I got my Instagram.
Yeah.
And I run a Facebook, but
Instagram's kind of your bread and butter. You post a lot of stuff on Instagram.
I try to share it on the Facebook too, but I get a lot more views and likes and
comments
and just involvement, I guess you could say, in Instagram. So.
So do we. I think that Facebook they've got to filter it or something.
I used to strictly do just hunting on my Instagram, Pine Creek Outfitters, but I do a little bit more family stuff on there now.
Yeah,
I've got some pictures of my kids and just a few other things on there, and I have a personal Instagram too. But
I'll say TC Trucking. Do you still have that one going?
Yeah.
Is it TC Trucking?
Yeah, still had that one going too. But I think it's kind of important for people to kind of see who you are too.
We've kind of talked about that with us
too. Not just you got deer and elk on your page all the time, but to see kind of a little bit who you are and what you do and stuff like that. So if you look back through my last several posts, you'll see a lot more of me and the kids doing our rodeo events and
oh yeah, you posted
and maybe just camping or doing stuff like that, and then you'll see us glassing and hunting and stuff like that. And then you still got the pictures of the clients with their harvests and stuff like that. So.
Yeah, we get that a lot actually. People send us messages and say, "Hey, we'd like to see what you guys are like as people."
Yeah.
In fact, I put it out there one time. I said, "Would anybody be interested in us doing a vlog, like seeing how we like the back end of all this stuff?" And,
oh man, if somebody was to follow me around with video camera all day, they'd see how goofy and messed up my life really is.
Oh, come on.
Hitting ditches at 50 miles an hour. And
you just ride it with him in a truck for 10 minutes and you'll hit a ditch at 50.
Forgetting to turn the trail camera on, so.
But people want to see that though.
Yeah.
That's what's funny.
I need to make a YouTube channel.
You really do. That would be, that'd be hilarious.
Because my life's different every day.
Yeah.
I'm out doing cameras one day. I'm doing something different the next day.
You are kind of like a jack of all trades, master of all.
Just master of none.
No.
Yeah, it's just something different every day. And I mean, this time of year, I'm trying to focus on hunting and scouting and stuff like that. But
during the winter, you have your
last week I was off hauling cows here and there, and then we were at a ranch team sorting event over the weekend, and then today I was out in Nevada, and so
doing a podcast.
Yeah, this cheap gas is really helpful for me nowadays.
Yeah, that's like, so basically you make a lot of money because you're able to just go and do.
Yeah.
And you rodeo too, which holy moly.
Yeah, we're into that. Me and my kids do that team sorting, that ranch sorting.
That's cool. I love watching when you post videos of that.
Yeah, we've got into that, and we do a lot of that. So cheap gas, cheap hay.
Yeah, it's all cheap.
Have horses, so why not?
Making it rain.
Why not just get into all of it? Hunting,
Yeah, it's all interesting though. Like Milton, we always talk about, like him with his cows. And he's always thinking, "Oh, this is stupid. I haul cattle for a living." But I'm always asking, like, how do you load those things? Like, it's intriguing to me. And he's like, "Stupid." I'm like, "No, dude, it is really actually pretty cool what you're doing." So I think it'd be awesome, man. You got to do it.
Everything's different. I mean, it's one thing to another,
It's amazing.
Just don't ever let your guard down with whatever you're doing.
Yeah. Well, you got to be flexible too. Take life as it comes and adapt and change, and that's okay. I'm glad you're focused on hunting right now, though.
This
is a good time to be talking on a podcast if you're focusing on hunting.
Like I say, June 20th, I'll still set a few more trail cameras, and then I'll start checking them and scouting around in July, and probably spend most every day out from here on out. Start hunting August 10th in Nevada, and from there till Christmas. My friend drew a buffalo tag on the Henry Mountains, so I'll be over there in December.
Someone I know?
No.
Okay.
And
oh man, that'd be fun.
Nevada's elk hunts are in November, and just it's a grind from July till Christmas time, really. So
wow, you
kind of gotta prepare.
You're booked this year, right? So if anybody's watching this and wants to book, are you completely booked this year? Or?
No, I still got some vacancies. I can still take some elk hunters in Nevada, some elk hunters in Utah.
Okay.
Still take some deer hunters.
Really like to find some elk hunters in Utah. I'd like to.
Yeah, if anybody
like that.
Southwest Desert Tag wants to go hunt elk, let's go do it.
Yeah.
Even Nevada units, 231 or 221, 23, or even 242 elk or something like that. Not many. They cut little tags. Nevada everywhere cut tags this year.
Yeah.
And I've seen it on the bookings. My bookings are down this year from what I need or what it could be. So the tag cuts. There's just less people out there to do it. Some of the units in Nevada, they cut tags by half. I mean, they did on Southwest Desert. They cut deer tags by half. Pine Valley by like a third.
Yeah. Pine Valley got killed.
Which I'm okay with. Let's get
the
herds back up.
Yeah. I'd rather hunt quality rather than quantity.
Yeah.
But
so it's just when you're doing it for a living or trying to, and there's just less people.
Well, less people with tags means less people that are going to call you and book.
You still got the same amount of guides, and I've talked to a couple of my friends that are guides too, and they've kind of said, I need a couple more, kind of what I was last year, but it just what we're gonna have to do.
Yeah. So people want to do an elk hunt or have that tag in their pocket this year for Nevada or Utah.
Yeah, give us a call.
Reach out to you next year. Open. I'm sure.
Yeah, next year's open. we get a few landowner tags each year and hope to get a few more next year maybe.
Nice.
So if a guy wants to spend some money and come buy a hunt,
yeah,
we do that too. So
dude, that's a sweet option for people that haven't got a tag. I mean, a lot of the results are out. I think Arizona comes out. I mean, it just closed, but Arizona does it so fast. I think it's a week it takes them to process it. So we should know by next week. So if you don't have anything.
One thing you got to understand if you want to buy a Nevada landowner tag is you almost got to do it a year in advance.
Yeah.
The landowners get the tags in the fall and the winter. And,
for the coming year,
there's
right?
such a waiting list, like they go like that. So
wow.
So I usually buy the ones I buy in November, December, and have a client lined up for already the next year.
Wow.
So you got to kind of be thinking ahead on that deal there. So,
but there's still room. Like if somebody wants to come and hunt next year,
yeah,
could they reach out to you and say, "Hey, I'd like to get on that list"? And
yep,
sweet.
And it's hard to have somebody that says I want to hunt next year if they're planning on drawing a tag, because even if you got a lot of points, you may not draw it. But,
right.
But if you want to, spend some of your gas money and come and buy a tag, then
well, the good thing if you draw though, you can still turn it back. Like for me, for example, if I was to buy one, and I drew my Utah tag next year, I could turn it back and draw should be able to draw the following year.
Yeah, Utah's a little different, but Nevada, if it's a voucher. So until you put it in your name, you can resell it if you needed to.
Yeah, that's true. So there's options there.
Yeah, there's options. There's lots of options.
Yeah.
Turn your tag back, sell your voucher.
You're not stuck in it, basically, so you don't have to try and fit both in. Which twist my arm, make me hunt 2 big bull elk in a year.
Yeah, you can in Nevada. You can have more than one tag.
Yeah. So. I'll hunt one here in Utah and one out there, too. That'd be all right, wouldn't it?
Let's get her done.
Just go to
some of your money.
Yeah, you know better than that. Oh, shoot. Well, let's wrap this thing up. So Instagram,
Pine Creek Outfitters.
Okay.
That's the best way. Is just to message me on there. I can give you my phone number on there or whatever, but you can text me on there just as easy as on my phone.
Okay.
But you can put my phone number on there too.
Email address? What's your email address?
Pine Creek Outfitters 13@gmail.com.
Okay.
I think that's on my Instagram.
Okay.
I think. I'll have to double check, but you can email me or DM me on Instagram or Facebook message me or something like that, and we can talk about it and make a plan. And
let's get you booked up, man. Let's get you filled up. Get some hunters out here.
Let's get you sub-guiding for me too, though. I need some help that way too.
Dude, I'm excited about that. I really am excited. This is going to be a fun year. You always at the first of the year, you're like, okay, what am I going to be doing this year? And this year, I'm like, after you and I talked the other day, I was like, dude, this is going to be a good year. So I thought it was going to be terrible because I didn't draw my Utah elk tag. I didn't draw my Colorado deer tag. So I'm like, well, this year's a wash.
You come do some hunts for me, and you'll see what I mean. You'll have more fun taking these guys out because you're still hunting.
Yeah.
You're doing everything but pulling the trigger. Mm-hmm. So.
Well, last year was a blast.
Yeah.
Last November, we had a good time.
We did have a good time.
Could have turned out better.
Yeah,
but
you don't always kill a big bull on the mountain.
No,
but
we had so much fun, and it's
about the adventure and the experience a lot of times too.
Yep, I think we all had fun. I think we all had a good time. We were all good friends, so that helps.
Yeah.
But we just had a great time. So yeah, I'm excited to get out there this year and officially, I finally made it official. So it's gonna be a lot of fun.
Good.
So cool, man. Well, this is probably gonna go up middle of. Maybe first week of July, maybe second week of July. So I'll put up on all the socials so that you can share it and whatnot. But if you guys have any questions, reach out to Trevor.
Yeah, I'd love to hear from you.
Yeah, if you can't get a hold of him, call me. I'll get you in touch with him. He lives about 2 blocks that way. So he can't hide. Well, he does hide pretty well, but I could probably find him. So thanks, man. Appreciate you coming on.
Thanks for having me.